Well, hello again. This is a petrol tank of a 1912 Matchless motorcycle. I've got to make a couple of small levers here for the advancing retard, which go onto there. You can see by that part there that's the gear lever assembly. They took a little bit of pride in making what the stuff in those days. If it was today, it would just be a bit of screwed rod with a plastic knob on the top. Whereas I say that they took a little bit of time to make things look right. The problem with doing these levers is I've got some flame cut blanks that they'll come out of, but it's such an awkward thing to hold. I'll show you that here. Such an awkward thing to hold. It's working out the order of operations. I think the first operation will be to drill the two holes in and then machine this area away here, which gives you something to bolt it with. You could bolt it onto a plate or a jig or whatever. I've made that one up. That one's to go in the lathe. Bolted onto there to be able to turn these parts, and a plate to bolt it onto to do around these areas on the milling machine, and it can be flipped on there, but we'll see how it goes. Right, I'll get one of these into the milling machine and make a start. Right, I'll bring you back when we're a bit further on. Right, this is the finishing cut. I've got it down down another 16th of an inch here. So I'll just do that manually. Right, I'll change what they would drill and we'll drill the holes in. Right. Next operation will be to drill this hole in here. There's a hole for a spring or a ratchet pole. It's an inch deep, so we'll let us drop it up. That one hasn't been very accurate, has it? It should be in the middle. Right, I'm just set up to drill this hole in here. You can see that one's not quite in the middle, but we'll see if we can do a bit better than that. bad. Right, I've also got to put 2 small centres in the end of here so that I can turn it in the lathe. One's a 00 and the other one's a 143rd offset for the turning operations, so we'll set up for that. Right, centre drills. Right, that's it. Right, I've got this set up. I've got to take this area out here to get to that thickness, which is an 1/8 basically. I've got to take that out and that out, which comes down by the same amount, 1/16 of an inch basically. Just roughly take it out and then I'll put the rounded corners on later on. Right, I've got this set up to do the profile. It'll do it in four goes. It'll move in 0.1 of an inch every time it goes round, and the last cut will be 1/10 thou. So see what happens. Well, that wasn't too bad. Bit of squeaking and farting, but never mind. Still got the radio system put on here yet, and on the back side. Let's get that sorted out. I'm just setting up to put these rods on around here with a 6mm ball nose, but they're a pain in the arse to do really. You can't afford to cut into the material, you've got to stop a thou above or you get a nasty line in it, you know. It's easier to polish a line if it's above than what it is if it's below, so we'll see what happens. Right, that's just got a hold of the paper there. It should be a thou above there. quite smooth. Right, we'll go across and do this one now. Yeah, that's quite nice. Right, we'll spin it over and do this one rather than do on the other side under there. See, that's it's come up quite nice. There's no step there. You can see a shadow, but there's no step there, you know. Polish out, no problem that. Right, I'm just setting up for this last radius on the other side. Be a thou above. See what happens. That's ideal, there's no step there at all. That'll clean up okay. Right. That's okay, you can see a shadow there, but it's quite smooth, you know. It'll polish off quite nicely. The next operation, that's just about the end of the milling operation, to apart from a hump that's got to go on there. And you look at that one, that hump's got to go on, but I'll have to do that after the turning operations. That'll be next, to turn these down. And then we'll come back to that later on.